handled Central when it was all done. Second quarter.
Pass for high school football players. Fargo South, Dale Hurdle has over 70 players taking part in drills. As usual, the Bruins have plenty of talent and look to be a strong favorite for the EDC crown. And when you talk to Dale Hurdle, he believes that his team is right in the thick of things, whether it's on the east side of the state or the west.
Compared to the other teams in the east, we're about on par with them. I think that overall, the east is going to be up this year. I think all the teams in the east have got a fair nucleus of kids back. We have a fair nucleus of kids back, and I think it's going to be a pretty balanced conference this year.
Last year, South lost to West Fargo in the state Class A title game 6-2. While most coaches would wipe the slate clean and say this is a new year, Hurdle says it's not that easy.
There were too many kids that played on a team last year to forget about it. That's a goal for us to get back in a dome, and that's really a priority for us. We want to do that. It's one of our long-range goals. It's definitely enough talent. I think South High School, every year we plan to be there. We'd like to, we're making every reservation we can to be there, and we're going to try and cover all the points to make it happen.
They will start the season Friday, September 2nd against Bismarck at Dakota Field. I think they're definitely a top contender for state this year. They are loaded with lots of talent.
Teams play their season openers tonight. Oak Grove plays at Carrington. We'll have our cameras in Mayville, Lisbon, and Northwood, and we'll have highlights tonight at 10. Well, Class A teams don't begin play until next Friday. And just take a wild guess who's being tabbed as one of the favorites in the East. Who else but Fargo South? Brett Garland has more.
Head coach Dale Hurdle calls this year's South team a typical South football team. That's great news for Bruin fans, terrible news for Bruin opponents, because a typical South team usually means state title contender. This year, the Bruins returned 26 seniors, including 8 starters from last year's state runners-up.
There's a lot of intensity coming back. Some of the guys kind of were disappointed. 2 to 6 isn't much of a game. We'd like to turn things around this season.
South has a rich tradition of being in a state championship game, and it does definitely carry over to the next season. The morale when you come in the first week of football is definitely high and very optimistic.
Defensively, the Bruins' strength is in its secondary. Nearly everyone is back there. On offense, its experienced backfield will get to run behind a strong right side of the line, led by Division I prospect Luke Samuel.
I think we're going to have a pretty strong running game. We have a lot of good backs, but then again, Kyle can throw the ball pretty well, and we've got some good receivers that run really good routes, so we should be able to balance it out pretty good.
Once again, the Bruins open the season wearing the favorites label, both in the East and in the state. But for South, that's nothing new.
We anticipate playing up until the end of November, and that's where we want to be. The last game in November, and that's that's the bottom line. We would like to be there again, and that's a goal. I think that if we realistically weren't looking at that, we probably wouldn't achieve it.
Brett Garland, KTHI News 11 Sports.
The Bruins open up against Bismarck High a week from tonight at Dakota Field. Well, the Minnesota
getting things underway against Bismarck. The Demons had troubles on offense all night. Seth Angel back to pass, but that's Ben Powers getting the interception. One of 3 turnovers on the night for the Demons. South getting into the end zone. Kyle Christensen to Corey Burkhart, 18-0 Bruins. Then it's Christensen across the middle to Ryan Albrecht. He breaks a few tackles. Bruins win big, 33-zip.
The bottom line is the defense had to stop, and the offense, it sputtered a little bit. It took us a little bit of time to get on track, and when we did, things went well. But the defense had to put them in a hole, and they did that right off the bat for us.
Great job by the Bruins. Look out for South. They were favorites in the EDC. The Bruins rolled past Bismarck in their opener. Go to Dakota Field. Chad Savageau in the first quarter takes it in from 3 yards out, caps a 4-play, 50-yard drive, 6-0 South. Then midway through the second quarter, watch Ben Powers breaking tackles, goes 18 yards. He had 110 yards rushing tonight, 12-0 South at the half. Third quarter, they put it away. Kyle Christensen goes up top, 6 yards to Corey Burkhart, and the Bruins pitch a shutout in the season opener, 33-zip over Bismarck. Shanley,
our top-ranked Fargo South opened EDC action against Grand Forks Red River. This was an exciting game. Justin Brigman picks up the fumble, and he will rumble in. It's 7-0 Riders right here. And a little gift there for the touchdown. Then South comes back. Kyle Christensen to Chad Savageau on a little screen pass. Savageau does the rest, and Red River's lead down to 7-6. But then later, Jeremy Johnson eludes the rush, and he'll hit J.B. Betting in the back of the end zone. What a great job by Johnson to regain his composure. There's the TD pass. The Riders pull off the upset, 21-8.
Well, you know, it's still a little bit numb at this point. You know, our kids played awful hard, and I think that was the key. We just never gave up, and we gave them some big plays throwing the ball early that they let us move the ball, and then we made some adjustments, and, you know, we played great defense, and that's the bottom line.
Bottom line is a big victory for the Riders, 21-8 South, previously ranked #1. Now here at Dakota
Allen tonight, stopping Grand Forks Central at Dakota Field. In the second quarter, Central down 10-0, but watch this fluke play. Noel Chine punts. It goes off James Gress and recovered by Central's Eric Ness. That would set up a Central score. Greg Mask hitting a 32-yard field goal, and the Knights were within a touchdown. But South's offense goes back to work. Kyle Christensen goes up top for Travis Schilling, 30 yards down to the 10-yard line. That would set up this touchdown run by Ben Powers. South goes up 17-3 at the half, and the Bruins bounce back after that loss to Red River this week with a win over Central, 24-3. Earlier,
Bruins at Dakota Field tonight started slow, but manhandled Central when it was all done. Second quarter, after a Bruin turnover, Grand Forks Central's Layman Mansry. Hey, this guy can kick. Sign him. 33-yard field goal, 10-3. South leads it. Bruins answer with an 80-yard drive, 3rd and 10. Christensen hits Travis Schilling, 19 yards, down to the 11. Next play, Ben Powers. This guy had a heck of a game a couple of weeks ago at Dakota Field. Up the middle, 11-yard touchdown run, 17-3 South at the half. They add another one on and win it tonight. 24-3 is the final for the Bruins, winning tonight at Dakota Field.
to work in the first quarter. Tom Meyer finds Andy Schwann, 35 yards for the touchdown. The Deacons were up 14-0. But then the Bruins went to work. Chad Savageau, who had a big night on the ground for the Bruins, goes 7 yards for the touchdown, and South would score 28 unanswered points. Kyle Christensen airs it out for Ryan Albrecht. He has the touchdown. South put 55 points on the board in their win over Shanley tonight, 55-28 the final.
All right, over to North Dakota. Some fireworks at Dakota Field tonight. Shanley starts out with a 14-0 lead, but South quickly turns the table. Chad Savageau for the Bruins. Second half, big night on the ground, 10-yard touchdown run. They outscore Shanley 34-7 at one point in the fourth quarter. Shanley, they just never died. Look at this toss. Look at this catch. Aaron Schwann on the end of it. You got it. 44 yards of the touchdown. Hey, it's 34-28, man. South puts it away. 4th and goal from the 6. Kyle Christensen running the wrong way. Throws it the hard way. Ben Powers at the end of it, 41-28. And it goes on to finish out for South winning tonight by a score of 55-28 is the final.
I would say perfect. This game tonight at Dakota Field, I've seen basketball games with having trouble getting this much scoring. Fargo South and Shanley colliding in EDC action tonight. Both teams coming in with 1-1 conference marks. Deacons come out smoking early. Take a look. Ryan Eagleson powers in. That gives Shanley a quick 7-0 lead. Then you're not going to believe this circus hookup right here. Tim Meyer, watch Andy Schwann. Schwann deep into the corner of the end zone. Yes, he hangs on. 14-0. Deacon boosters are going nuts, but the Bruins come storming back. Ben Powers finds some blocking, then does the rest by himself. 53 yards for the score. That ties the game at 14. Still in the first half, Kyle Christensen, plenty of time here on the play action. He finds a wide-open Ryan Albrecht. The second half even more wild after South went ahead. They win it 55-28. Deacons just ran out of gas. Meanwhile, the Jays
title tonight, the Jays hosting South.
and Jamestown would get it going late second quarter, facing a 3rd and 25 from South's 37. B.J. Knoll finding Grant Geisler, who goes the distance, 37 yards on that 3rd and 25. A touchdown, 7-0 Jays, but South marches 97 yards on 13 plays on its next drive. Kyle Christensen to Ben Powers, whose second effort gets him into the end zone. It was 7-7 at the half. South got the only points of the second half to beat Jamestown, handing the Jays their first loss of the year. Moorhead tonight beat
Jamestown rivals meeting in the Fargo Dome tonight, the final game of a high school triple-header. South and North meeting for the 30th time, and North is trying to pull off the upset. First quarter, here comes North. Rob Headley, an 8-yard touchdown run for big old number 45, 7-0 Fargo North. Watch this field goal attempt in the second quarter. You make the call. They called it good, and it was 10-0 Fargo North. Yeah, he knew it was good. Yeah, right down the middle, you bet. Just before halftime, South gets on the board. Chad Savageau, a 3-yard touchdown run the hard way. Ball gets over, it's a touchdown. That made it 10-6 North at halftime. South has just scored in the third quarter to lead Fargo North by a score of 12-10. North, of course, looking for win number 1 this year. South is looking to go to 3-1 in the EDC.
Yes, I am. That was exciting. That was very exciting. You just saw Chad, yes, it was Chad Savageau scoring for the Bruins. North and South got quite a battle going here. We've had wall-to-wall football here, EDC style, and we'll show you the highlights. You saw the live one. Now let's tell you what happened between the Spartans and Bruins in the first half. The North Spartans on the attack here. Nice play action, and Jay Gerke completes the pass, but the big hit there by Ryan McKee forces the fumble, and Ryan Albrecht recovers for the Bruins. But North comes right back, and this time it's big Rob Headley powering in from 8 yards out. Spartans actually led at one point 10-0 in the first half. But Ben Powers comes back. He rifles off a 33-yard run all the way down to the 2-yard line. And then you saw our live hero just a minute ago, Chad Savageau, a run very similar. His first of 2 touchdowns on the night, and his second one here early in the third quarter that you saw live, with the Bruins on top 12-10. There's about 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, and the Spartans have the ball. Now, earlier, we are playing for the first time since last year's state championship game won by the Packers. That was a low-scoring game. Today's game at Dakota Field, just the opposite. A lot of scoring. Despite the brisk southeast wind, South's first possession, Chad Savageau up the middle, 14 yards for the touchdown. And it would be the way it was today for the Bruins offense. South scored on its first 4 possessions. Here's Kyle Christensen finding Ryan Albright. It was 19-0 South. First play of the second quarter. West Fargo from its own 3. Brian Byer to Paul Muckow. How about 97 yards on the touchdown pass? And the Packers were on the board, but it would be a big day for Chad Savageau. 5 touchdowns of the day, 4 rushing, and this touchdown reception. You know that old saying, don't wake the sleeping giant? I think that's what happened to South the last 2 weeks. The Bruins win it 43-12. Well, here's where
tonight, folks, we got some tape from all over the valley. First, Fargo South. After being upset last week by Fargo North, they bounced back in Jamestown tonight. Defensive struggle. Kyle Anderson, Jamestown linebacker. Ooh, big hit. Late second half, the Bruins, Ben Powers. He'll cough it up, and the Jays are going to take advantage of it. They got the fumble recovery right there. All right, that sets up Jamestown's B.J. Knoll, 3rd and 17. He hits Grant Geisler in front of a packed house. 37 yards for the touchdown. 7-0 Blue Jays. Just before the half, Fargo South, Kyle Christensen. He's going to hit Ben Powers on the slant. It's in there. Great second effort. He's in, tied at 7. South kicks a field goal. They're going to win it tonight by a score of 10-7. The Bruins are now 4-2 overall, 3-2 in the EDC. The Jays taking their first loss on the season. They are 5-1 overall and 4-1 in the conference.
Hey, Mike, I don't think you have to worry about sweat tonight. That breeze is keeping us all nice and comfortable out here. This is a critical night in the wide-open EDC race. One of those key games, Fargo South against West Fargo, already in the books here at Dakota Field, just completed moments ago. The Bruins on their first possession, Chad Savageau begins his scoring adventure, a 14-yard touchdown, the first of 5 times he would reach pay dirt on the afternoon. On the next possession, Savageau goes to work again, rumbling 36 more yards to set up another South touchdown. Savageau over 150 yards today on the ground. Bruins made it 3 for 3 on the scoring drive. Ben Powers, he motors 31 yards to the 10. Powers also racking up over 150 yards on the ground today. Then 2 plays later, it's Kyle Christensen. He had a brilliant afternoon. 7 yards on the pass to Ryan Albrecht. 19-0, Bruins cruising. But the Packers made it interesting with a couple of big plays. A 97-yard touchdown pass and this 28-yard connection from Brian Byer to Shane Worth. But all Bruins in the second half, they win it 43-12, and they are sitting pretty good now. As you take a look at the EDC standings, Jamestown, Red River, and Wahpeton all sitting at 4-1, and South keeping an eye on those games tonight. They check in at 4-2. There you see the match.
As things are really kind of matching up, so it's coming down right down to the final weekend, and that really makes it tough on everybody because nobody knows who's going to play anybody in the playoffs. And we took a big step tonight as far as the playoffs, and we feel really good about it.
I know you were concerned about your team being a little bit up and down from week to week, but last week you go on the road and beat a very tough Jamestown team, and then today you rack up 43 points. Feel like you've got everything in order now?
Well, we feel like we're coming. You know, we've played pretty well back-to-back weekends. It's that third one that we're worried about. We've got to pick up 3 in a row, and I think that's, you know, the momentum thing. We got to carry it and keep it going.
And the offense, certainly, I mean, as we saw today, can explode. When they take away one thing, you got other guys to help out.
Well, we've been able to do some things, and we're pretty smart up front. We can make adjustments, and I thought some of the things we did tonight were very good. Kyle Christensen did a great job of audibling and picking up things that he saw, and it was a good performance for us offensively.
All right, good luck to you the rest of the way.
Thank
Dale
you.
Hurdle getting ready for the playoffs with an impressive win this afternoon against West Fargo. Well,
Didn't bother the offense. Fargo South, Chad Savageau up the middle, 14 yards on the touchdown run. Fargo South would score on its first 4 possessions of the day. Kyle Christensen here finds Ryan Albright, a 7-yard score. It was 19-0. Here's another big play. West Fargo's Brian Byer on his own 3, a perfect strike to Paul Muckow. Can you say 97-yard touchdown? Wow! West Fargo will trail 19-6. Chad Savageau, how about a school record 5 touchdowns? He catches this one. He ran for 4 others, and Fargo South walloped West Fargo 43-12. Well, with
This, they had them last year at this time, didn't they, in the championship? They certainly did, Marvin. I love the way you're following this. Anytime West Fargo and South get together, it's a heck of a ball game, and it's pretty easy for both teams to get up for one another. The Bruins will call this a big win, even though the Packers have gotten only 1 win this year. This game today officially puts West Fargo out of the postseason. Bruins had it going early on. In their first possession, this is Chad Savageau, a 15-yard touchdown run. He'll put the Bruins up by a score of 6-0. Nice run there, great second effort. Later in the first, Kyle Christensen, a QB for the Bruins, a 6-yard TD pass to Ryan Albrecht, 19-0, Fargo South. Then in the second quarter, the Packers come back. Ryan Byer to Paul Muckow down the sideline. It'll cover 98 yards. Packers get on the board. Bruins still lead it 19-6. And then Christensen will go back to work. Savageau with 4 touchdowns on the day. He's on the receiving end of this one to make it 25-6. South goes on to win it today by a score of 43-12. Kyle Christensen, the QB of the Bruins. This has got to be a satisfying win after the title game last year.
Oh, it's a really satisfying win, and, you know, the guys came through, and we really wanted to take advantage of what West Fargo gave us tonight, and I think we did a fair job at that.
Well, they gave you the passing game. You come in with that plan today?
Yeah, we knew they were going to throw the ball a lot, and our secondary did the job when they had to. We had a couple breakdowns at times, but we worked hard in practice and prepared for them.
2 weeks ago, things didn't look too good after losing to North. Has this team bounced back?
Oh, I think so. I think last 2 weeks we've played with a lot of confidence and a lot of excitement. I think it's a little different team than what we were a couple weeks ago.
How important is the win, or the game, should I say, over Devil's Lake coming up next week?
Oh, it's definitely a big game. It's going to, you know, give us hopefully another win and a better chance at making a better seed in the playoffs.
How's your game, QB? You going to take this team all the way?
I hope so.
All right.
Yeah.
Kyle Christensen, quarterback of the Fargo South Bruins. They win today. Shanley and Wahpeton play tonight. We'll have highlights of that one. And Red River, a team that leads the EDC, is playing here in just a few moments against Fargo North.
Also 5-2 in the league, takes care of Devils Lake. The Bruins also
Placed in the EDC tonight, rolling big over Devils Lake by a score of 47-0. First quarter, South Chad Savageau, 3-yard touchdown run, 13-0. South again, Corey Burkhart, left side, 15 yards, the counter play, 20-0 Bruins at the end of the first quarter. Second quarter, Ben Powers, he's good from 10 yards out to make it 26-0. South rolls over Devils Lake tonight by a score of 47-0. At Dakota Field first for the Bruins. Get past 2-6. Bismarck, 28-12 final. Bruins first half. Kyle Christensen with the 18-yard touchdown pass. Travis Schilling hauls it in. 21-0 Bruins at halftime in the third quarter, capping an 83-yard drive. This is Chad Savageau, 17-yard run. The Bruins win it 28-12, and they'll head out to Minot on Saturday.
I think we did some things pretty well offensively, and we did some things pretty well defensively. We can hope to maintain that and keep going on Saturday.
Tough team to play, though, 2-6 for the kids, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and they're a physical football team. They're, you know, that's one of the bigger schools in a state, and it was a tough game for us.
Big win for Tom Gravel.
His first-round playoff foe, the Bruins bombing Bismarck for the second time this season. South well in control of things by the end of the first half. Kyle Christensen to Travis Schilling makes it 20-0, and the best part of this highlight comes up after the catch, okay? Schilling will add a little spice here with this dance that, well, I'm not sure he's proud of it, but it was a dance. Second half, Chad Savageau, 17 yards, no dancing, but the Bruins win big behind their defense tonight.
I think that was the big thing, is we were able to defensively shut them down. Offensively, we sputtered a little bit, but we were playing a pretty good football team, too.
And the final 28-12, the Bruins play at Minot on Saturday. That should be a dandy at 4 o'clock. Shanley.
Minot beat Fargo South, shut them out, in fact, and a fire at Jamestown has forced a postponement of the Minot-Jamestown game to Tuesday night.